Hey guys, this is Royce, and yeah, welcome back to the channel. Today I was going to talk about Trader Joe's. It's the company I work at, if you didn't notice from the shirt. And this is just going to be a little bit of a, I guess just a little bit of a breakdown of what I like about, or like what I do, what I like about it, that kind of stuff. Because I've seen online, just doing my own research, a couple people have posted YouTube videos about their experience working at Trader Joe's, and that's one of the places I went to when I was first looking around for jobs. I wanted to see what people thought about it. You know, I looked on Reddit, looked on YouTube, all that kind of stuff. So I just kind of want to give my thoughts, I guess. I don't know if it's any different than other people's, and maybe similar, maybe not. Who knows? So I got hired at a local Trader Joe's. It's literally like 10 minutes down the street from where I'm living right now. I got hired there in October of last year, so 2021. So I've been there officially. It was like at the end of October, so it's been over 7 months now. Not quite 8. So I've been there basically half a year, a little bit over that. And yeah, just what my thoughts are. So I have had one other job before this. I worked at an In-N-Out Burger down the street from where I lived previously before I moved here. Let me just give you my experience. So basically what ended up happening is I applied to, there was 3 Trader Joe's in my immediate area. So I applied to all 3, and then a couple days later I went in person and I just like introduced myself, say like, hey, my name's Royce. I applied online. I just want to meet face to face. And that I want to make that a crucial point. I think doing that step of applying, but then also showing up in person so they can see your face to show you that you're interested, really helps. And it allows you to kind of establish somewhat of a connection with your future boss potentially. You know, you showing up and being like adamant about wanting to get hired. Responded back to the first callback, which is the current store I'm working at. They called me and were like, hey, let's do an interview. So I ended up in total doing 2 interviews. And then after the second 2 interviews over the course of like a week or so, and then a little bit after that, they called me and said like, hey, we think you're a good fit. So I have, I think, 5 t-shirts. So they give you 5 t-shirts. You don't really pick the colors. You just get, and then you get 2 long sleeves. So like, for instance, I have my shirts, and then right now I have 2 sweatshirts like this. Like I have a gray one and a blue one, and then I have 1 hoodie. Speaking of the uniforms are pretty casual at Trader Joe's. Like for instance right now, you can't really see it, but I'm wearing like just shorts. It's gonna be hot today. It's gonna be like 85. So you can wear shorts, pants. There's no real rule, at least for guys. I'm sure there's different for girls. Real dress etiquette, as long as you can like, you're in clothes that you feel comfortable working in. So shorts, pants. I usually wear Dickies a lot. I wear those anyway, but Dickies are really great pants for working. I was wearing Doc Martens for a little bit. Now I don't really wear boots as much, so I wear, these are my typical shoes I wear, which are like the Vans Ultra range, which are my favorite Vans shoe. I swear these aren't sponsored, but I mean, you think I'd really get a sponsorship this early in my YouTube career? Let's see. Let me go through kind of what I have. So when I first got hired, you get a little crew member passport. And it basically just kind of gives you a rundown of just kind of a little introduction to the store, some of the terms, so just some of the key phrases. And then when you also start, you get like a little log. And so there's a little schedule list, so when you clock in, when you start, it shows you where you're going to be, and different highlighters indicate where you're going to work, stuff like that. And then you can write it down. What do I bring with me? I bring a water bottle. Because you gotta stay hydrated. They let you have your own water bottle, so you can bring it to the cash register. You can put it in the back when you're working. You can get water breaks whenever. They're really cool about that. I bring like a little like satchel, or not a satchel, a fanny pack with me. So I just bring like my phone, my keys, my wallet, sunglasses. I bring rip-off AirPods. You're allowed to use these. Not when you're on the work floor, because there's customers, but like if you're working in the back, like if you're working in like a freezer, like with milk or something, you can. If you're doing grocery carts, you can wear them. Or like when we're closing down the store and there's no one in, you can put one in one ear and listen to music. And then you can do it on break, obviously. So I keep my my little name pin. It's like magnetic, which is kind of sick. I just slip one underneath and then I just stick it on the shirt. It's not a pin, so that's really nice. Really like the design on that. And then I always keep a pen and a Sharpie on me. These come in handy. Pens come in handy for when you're making lists. Sharpies come in handy when you're marking off food or you need to write something down like on a box to say what it is when you're breaking it down or something like that. And then of course we have our cutters. This is what they give you. I started out with a plastic one when I first started, but it actually broke recently, like the plastic broke, so I ended up getting the leather pouch. And so this is just a basic cutter. I don't know, you gotta change the blades out every once in a while. I have an orange one. I'm left-handed, fun fact about me. So left-handed people have orange blades, right-handed people have green blades. So that's one of the indicators. But yeah, you always kind of want to have this on you. It's like part of the essential shit. I try not to watch videos too much when I work, so I'll like bring a book to read. So I usually have like a book on me. I'm trying to make it a practice over the summer of reading more. Like for instance, right now I'm reading Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. I think I'll do a video on that later. It's a really solid book. But basically, once you've had your orientation, the first 2 weeks or roughly, you're kind of getting trained on sections. So what I mean by sections are different areas in the store that you're working. The goal is to be proficient in all of them. After 7 months, I'm going to be honest, I'm still not super proficient. There's still a lot of stuff that I need to get better at. I need to learn more. But everyone that I work with is always like super friendly. And so if I have a problem with something, I'm not afraid to ask, be like, hey, like, I know I've been here for a while, but how do you do this? Or where's this? Or how can I do this better? And they really like that, actually. You know, it's that aspect of we're all just kind of helping out each other. There's not really such thing as like a dumb question. Well, maybe there is, but you know what I mean. Like it's a team-based work environment, which I love a lot personally. So the different sections there are. So there's produce, there's wet produce, there's fresh, which is like where the salads are and stuff like that. The milk box, so like where the milk and eggs are, and the juices, there's that section. There's grocery, which is where you're going to see a lot of the canned glass goods. Your snack aisle, you're going to have frozen, so that's like the frozen foods. And then there's meat and cheese, stuff's called fronts, where you clean up the front area at the end of the night. And there's backs, so guys working in the back, doing pallets, breaking down boxes. There's obviously cashier. Everyone does cashier. You're going to probably do at least a little bit of cashier duty every time. And this is another interesting thing. I remember when I was younger, I was so confused why people working at a grocery store were so happy. I was like, how do they do this? And I realized once I started working there, I ended up picking up on it too. I'm like, am I in a cult? No, I'm just kidding. Maybe. The kind of environment just kind of makes you want to do that. There's not a set list of guidelines. You're not supposed to say like, hi, how are you? How's your day? There's not like that structure. Start making small talk like, hey, how was your weekend? Or do you have any plans for your weekend? Or like, what are you doing today? And stuff like that. Some customers don't want to talk to you, but some do. So you get trained on all the different sections, and then they start kind of asking like, which section do you kind of like working? Because they want to see like what area do you feel best in. So for me, I've spent the most time out of every section working dry produce. That's the area they've kind of been putting me in, and I like that section a lot. I kind of like the idea of the layout. I love the different islands where the different types of produce go and how everything lays down, making lists, see what you need from the back, banana trees, stuff like that. I don't know. Just for whatever reason, I really like dry produce. It's a fun section. I mostly close a lot, so there are shifts where people open. I think 4 a.m. is the beginning shift. There's like midday shifts, and then there's closing shifts. I work a lot of closing shifts. That basically entails working like 2 to 10. So I usually end up closing, most of the time I'm closing a section. So like I'll get there at 2, and then by the end of the night I have the goal of I have to get as much product up as I can, depending on how busy the day is. And some days are busier than others, that's the thing to take into account for. But that's just kind of the learning process. You at least have, most of the time you have one other person with you that's working, sometimes not at the same time, just kind of depends. But yeah, I mean, that's just a little bit of my experience during the last 7 months. I don't really have anything bad to say about them. Guys, thank you for watching. I don't know if anything I said was helpful, but if you are, wherever you are watching this, are interested in working at a Trader Joe's, I highly encourage you to. If you have any questions about it, I know stuff differs at stores, just leave something in the comment section, I guess. But yeah, have a great day, guys, and I gotta go to work, so I'll catch you later. Bye.